Good evening, Knicks Nation. Welcome to the next edition of Sky Hoops Knicks Dreams. To join the conversation, drop your comments in the chat, and shortly we will be sharing the link if you want to be a panelist within this particular episode. With that being said, I want to introduce my main man, H2O, as we discuss obviously the Chicago Bulls Knicks game that took place on Wednesday, and then we'll eventually transition into tonight's game with the Rockets. So, with that being said, take it away, H2O. Give us your take, your impressions. Talk to us.
Good evening, Nick Nation. Good evening, Santana. Uh, and thank you once again for another episode of Nick's Dreams, where dreams become reality. I remember sitting in that game with you, and you asking the question, "Do you believe?" And I said, "I believe that you believe." But all jokes aside, they are making believers out of a lot of people. Uh, and what I believe today is that they have at one point were overachieving the expectations, but they're not overachieving what they are capable of doing. They've proven that in enough situations, enough, let's say this, to have a 35 and 28 record. So with a 35 and 28 record, yes, I believe that they are as good as the record says that they are, you know, and that they could have been, but we're not going to talk about could have, would have, should have, okay? But there's at least 3 games within those, what is it, 68 games or whatever it is that we played so far that were definitely winnable, and a couple of 3 or 4 games that we gave away. So, they are just as good as they are, and they could be even better. If they, whatever happens from this point forward, it's gravy. Okay, they have given us everything that we could have wanted and expected of them, way more than we could have expected, but more than um, what the entire NBA believed that they were going to be. And whatever they give us from this point forward, it's already a winnable season. You know, they're not champions, but they are great. They are, and the ceiling is looks so much, and the future looks so much brighter. Just to say a few words, or maybe what I do now is I am going to just give a no look pass to our man Bill Stradamus to give us a quick synopsis of his take on the last game and what his feelings are as far as the Knicks performance up to this point in the season.
Thank you, H2O. What's going on, Papi Santo?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
We back on track. just like we said we would have to get. The Suns. I don't know if anybody knows, the Suns been walking through everybody. So they beat up the Clippers the other day, and they beat somebody up, I think even yesterday. So we just fell in line with all their other opponents. They beat us. I think they're now tied, or they may have the best record in the whole league now. So it is what it is. However, in our last game, we jumped back on track. We did what we were supposed to do, got the dub, and now we're going for our second straight win on our new winning streak. The boys came to play, and like I said, looking forward to tonight when we go into Houston and walk out of there with our second straight win. Don't want to eat too much because I wasn't hearing what you guys are saying. So I'll just be kind enough and throw a lob pass up top to my man Santana.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you, Bill Stradamus. We got a participant in the chat, the Knicks Gas Oracle, and he says, "Hello, gentlemen. Alex Burks is out." He also says, "We beating the Suns. Don't be scared. Julius is gonna return the favor to CP3."
Mm,
Okay,
okay.
okay. And then Nike, not Knicks. I'm assuming he meant Knicks. Might go winning 7 out of 9. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I mean,
Mm,
that's great. That's very optimistic. But
mhm.
let's take it one game at a time and see where that lands us. Um, in terms of the Chicago game, yes, I was happy that they ultimately won. But I saw certain things on the floor, and I was having that conversation with H2O in real time. While it was happening. In particular, what is it? This guy, the Afro man. What's his name again?
Patrick Williams.
Williams, I think it is.
Yeah.
The
Um,
guard, right?
the guard, the guard. No, it
Yeah.
wasn't Williams. It was White, White.
Oh, okay. Yeah. White. Kobe White.
Yeah,
Kobe
Kobe
White,
White.
right?
Yeah, so in order for him to set up his shot, right? What he was doing is he was coming into the wing position, dribbling the ball into the wing position, and then allowing his teammates to set up the pick so that he could go middle of the floor. And whenever he went middle of the floor, he was killing us. Whether he was hitting the shot, hitting the perimeter shot, and or passing it to a wing guy to hit the shot. And I kept saying, man, we got to take away the middle from him. Keep him on the sidelines because you got the baseline and you got the sidelines. That's another defender there to kind of narrow his options. And also, when you keep him on one side of the floor, he can only pass it to another side of the floor. When you're in the middle of the floor, you can pass it on either side of the floor. That's part of the challenge. You know what I mean? So that was one of the matchups that I was looking at and I kept harping on throughout the game. The second matchup was when um, Barrett was defending what's his
Boston.
name? Marklin, right? And the mistake that I believe he was making was every time that Marklin went into the post, he played behind him. He's got to front them. And the defense got to rotate if there is a pass over his head so that they could double him. You know what I mean? And time again, that adjustment wasn't made. I don't know if that has something to do with Barrett or it had to do with Tibbs, but either or both of them are responsible for being smarter than that. I mean, the guy is bigger than Barrett. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So if you let him get in the paint, you're done. Barbecue chicken, barbecue shrimp, barbecue steak, barbecue everything. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so, I mean, I kept saying that time and time again. I said, he got to front him. He got to front him. He got to front him. And he was getting roasted. You know what I mean? So those are the kind of little things and matchups that we need our teams to go out there and tighten up. Especially those are not necessarily just a matchup issue. That's a schematic issue because anybody that has a size advantage over any of our guys, if you're stuck in the paint, you got to front. That's just basketball defense 101. But those are the things that we need to tighten up. With that being said, I'm gonna drop it off to H2O so that he could keep it rocking. Go ahead, H2O.
I kind of like um, agree with um, what you're saying about what should be done. But what happens is that during the game, most of those picks, what happens is you walk your man down to the block and then you turn around on him and he's behind you already. When you're 7 foot, it doesn't, I'm not sure that Barrett was the right person to have in there playing defense against him. We needed another big man because he's 7 foot. So you could be in front of me, you could be behind me. I'm gonna get that pass. I mean, if you're a good, sound basketball player, you're going to get the pass, whether he's playing behind you or fronting you. And if he's fronting you, it's going to be like the next person has to rotate over, which means that he's coming to you. So you already have some space to work underneath. Even if I agree with you 100%, they did not make a difference in the outcome of the game. It was 12 and 14 points respectively, except for, like you said, with Kobe, he got 9 assists off of that, cutting to the middle. But again, it was the pick from the big man that set him free to the thing. The big man is just showing, not necessarily switching. Because if you switch, now you got the big man, their big man, on our guard, and then they're going to get roasted there too. So regardless of how it went down, you're never going to have 100% the right, move all of the time. So you got to live with, it's a what do they call it? A toss up is a I get the word, but it's either or. You can't have it both ways. So it's a trade-off. If I front him, he gets behind me. And if I play behind him, he's in front of me. So either way, I am at a disadvantage. And that's where I saw Barry. Barry was at a disadvantage regardless of what he would have played, because if he fronts him, he's not going to jump high enough to beat him for the pass.
But that's where the big man, the 5, has to rotate over to give him that help in the event that Kobe White is able to lob the ball over Barrett's head. Then that's where the help needs to be. They need to be standing there waiting, just in case Markkanen gets the ball, and then they can offer some type of resistance towards him. I think that's what Santana was basically saying. And the thing is, with him behind him, he had absolutely no chance. That's like a 5-inch difference. That's almost half of that's almost 6 inches over him. Right. So, Barrett needed to either, like he said, front him and call for the help once the lob comes, or Tibbs needed to understand that that's what they were doing and, call that timeout and restructure the defensive sets. So that's, I think that's where he was going. And I agree, because he was barbecue everything. He was barbecue.
14 points, folks.
No, I understand that, but
14 points is not barbecue. He didn't score 20. He didn't score 25 on us.
No. But look, again, I don't want to harp too much on Randall, but what you got to look at is schemes. And yes, you could look at the bottom line in terms of points and stuff like that, but you got to look at when it comes time to games on the line, and you got to make certain adjustments. You got to make these adjustments, even if it's 1 point, that can make a difference. Okay, 1 point, 2 point. You got to correct the flaw. It's not only to Barrett, because Barrett, the back door is something he has to work on, right. And on top of that, and again, I didn't put it all on Barry. I also put it on Tibbs. You know that you're getting beat because you got a bad matchup. You got to have a better defensive scheme, and right. He didn't make that adjustment.
He never changed that.
Exactly. And that's on Tibbs.
Right.
That's on Tibbs. You know what I mean? But go ahead, keep rocking, fellas.
Well, I'm just saying that I'm not going to say that we lucked out and won that matchup regardless, but the team defense actually came through in that fourth quarter. Not only the team defense, but also the team offense. All right? Because it was 37-19 in the fourth quarter. And you got to tip your hat to the bench because a lot of it was quickly sighting. Okay? And let me see. RJ was doing his thing, but quickly came in there. Rose did a little bit of a disappearing act, even though that he was in the game in critical time periods. But overall, that's what won the game. It was our team defense, and that's one of the points that I think that we've been talking about over and over again. What is going to be our identity? And I think we are finally finding our identity. Our identity is that we're gonna play defense, and that Suns game, it just got away from us because of the lack of team defense in the last 3 minutes of the game. But so yeah, overall, I think it was a great game. It was kind of like I had mixed emotions. Wonderful to see a great win, but sad to see that I don't think I'm gonna go going back to the Garden to see them because them boys are trying to jack up the prices on us, and I'm not having it. But who knows what happens? I might be willing to, shell out a couple of extra dollars for one playoff game, and that's it. So take it away, Santana.
No, go ahead, Mr. Bill. Go ahead, rock, brother.
So what y'all say? The prices are raised now,
Well,
or
yeah, yeah.
are you
Yeah.
talking about the playoffs? You know it's going to be up to the playoffs.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they already jacked up the prices for the last homestand
For the
of
last
the Knicks. The
The
Knicks
word?
homestand. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
the same tickets that we're getting, they're about $30 more.
Wow, and you're already going like what, $150 in, right?
No, they'll be about 200.
200 in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course in the playoffs it'll be even more money. So I guess we'll be watching it on TV.
We do have a
Yo,
Zoom party.
I got little bro in the car with me. I just picked him up. We get ready to go watch the game with Pops.
Oh, okay, Pops Stradamus, huh?
Yeah.
What's up, little bro?
What's up, y'all? What's up, fellas?
Yes,
Fellas, go Knicks, go Knicks.
yes,
Uh-uh.
indeed. So go ahead, give us your take, little bro, on what you saw against the Knicks versus the Bulls.
Against the Bulls. Oh,
Our last game.
I just saw a more seasoned team, a team that was just more put together. Notwithstanding they didn't have their superstar, so I sort of took that with a grain of salt. I didn't put too much stock into that win, but I felt like we were the better team going into it. Even if they had Zach LaVine, I feel like we were a stronger team. Just in terms of the way that we have been playing and how they've been playing lately. I think the Knicks we're on an upward trend. Our trajectory is we're on the way up. So teams better look out. I'm not a what's the word, delusional Knicks fan. As we all can be at times, but I feel like the Knicks are, man. This team, the NBA 2K should have a 2021 Knicks team in it because this team is serious and they play like a team, man, without any superstars. I love this team, man. I love this. I haven't felt this good about the Knicks in years, man. I love this team, and I feel like we got to win the first round of the playoffs. Otherwise, I feel like it'll affect, free agency for us, this next season. So, I mean, in the off season. So I feel like we got to win the first round of the playoffs. Now, I'd rather play the Hawks than like say the Celtics. Notorious, what y'all call Nate?
Notorious, yeah.
Notorious Bug.
Yeah, I was with him yesterday. So he and I were talking. He said he'd rather play Boston. I'm like, what? I'd rather play against what's this guy's name?
Rocky.
You didn't see him?
Yeah, I saw him, but why is he in the middle of the street?
My big bro, he almost hit a Nets fan just now. I don't know.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. You better take that cap off.
Jogging in the middle of the street, like I was trying to let the dude get over it. He's like right in front of my car, like
The dude was jogging by the dots in the middle, man. This guy's crazy.
That's New York for you, man. New York pedestrians, they don't respect cars.
not at all.
At all. I mean, what I don't know where you guys were at. Really, I just got in the car, so
That's all
I
good.
don't know.
That's all good. No, your take is solid, man. If anything, if you want to talk about tonight's game, you're more than welcome to. Share your thoughts.
I feel like that youngster, he's pretty impressive. Michael Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr.
Kevin Porter Jr. on the Rockets, he scored 50 the game before last night. Last night he only had like think 16 or something like that.
Yeah, but he scored. Yeah, he scored 50 the game
But the
before
game
last.
before that, this kid scored 50 points, rookie. So he's pretty serious. He his game is sort of Harden-esque. If I can say that, he's a dribble, shoot kind of guy, and I think he's going to be a problem, in a couple years. But I don't think we have anything to worry about. But you can't sleep on anybody. But I don't think this is a team. They're not structured to beat us. I don't really think they have the pieces to beat us. They shouldn't anyway, and especially if we got Alec Burks back. I feel like we're supposed to beat this team, and we got to win games that we're supposed to win.
Somebody had put in the chat. They said Burks isn't playing.
Right.
Isn't that
He's not playing. Oh,
yeah.
Well, the thing about Burks, on Wednesday night when we were at the game, prior to the game obviously starting, Burks was warming up. He was shooting, he's getting his workout. Him and Derrick Rose were both working out and stuff like that. So he's close. He's close. I mean, obviously, if he's been out because of the protocol and he's already practicing with the team, that means he's no longer at risk. So it could be a day-to-day type of thing. Maybe he'll show up against the Rockets tonight. Maybe he won't. But we also got some. Karen Fung had shared that Rockets DJ Wilson is out due to COVID protocols. Daniel House Jr. and Sterling Brown both out due to ankle injury. So that's the current injury report, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tonight. Now we got Dream in the house. Dream, he's flying in obviously because Houston is in the house. So Akeem the Dream is from Houston. Go ahead, Dream, kick it off.
What up, Dream?
What's up?
What's up, boys? What's up, fellas? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm still clapping in my house after Wednesday. I think I left my voice at the Garden. Because it was gonna be my only game, so I was leaving my butthole there if I could. So anyway, we're gonna start with the Chicago game real quick. First quarter, we came in, we blitzed them really fast. They didn't know what happened to them. It took them a long time to score, and they didn't really score in bunches at all. We held them to 19. We kind of got our composure after the beginning. We came out in a blitz, then we kind of slowed down a little bit. Then we closed pretty strongly, right? Second quarter, we got on our bullish. I don't know what happened. I went to go get a soda and a pretzel, and I came back, and the game was tied, basically. And I was like, WTF, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus, guys, in only 5 minutes I was gone. So anyway, that quarter got away from us, but we regained our composure in the third, and in the fourth quarter, we pretty much put the squeeze play back on them, got them back down to 19, and ended the game. That we were supposed to do this throughout. We did in the first and fourth this time. So, that being said, I think basically in that game, our best beat their best. They had half of their best anyway with Levine out, but Vucevic showed up and he did his little damage. But Randall and Barrett, they came to play, and they as far as our starters and our best, they came to play and they handled the game for us pretty much throughout. And and that was pretty much it. I'm not sure where you guys are, but I'll leave some meat on the bone. I'll send it back around. Where's it headed right now? Straight back down.
H2O, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to be leaving in about 7 minutes. I think for the benefit of those that didn't hear it before, the fact remains that we have a lot to be bullish about these days about our New York Knicks. And I want to just tell little bro, believe, brother. Believe that Santana believes.
Mm-hmm.
I got you, man. I'm
they were talking 37 games this year, and I was like, what? Are you guys something or what?
From day one, that very first show.
37 is very possible. And I was telling the fellas that there was a couple of games that we could have won in the end, and a couple of games that we gave away in the end. So we could have been at 40 by the end of the season, and who knows? Somebody in the chat room is trying to say that we're going to go 9-2 in the last
7 and 9, yeah, 7 out of 9, yeah,
or something like that. And I'm not going to go that far, but if we could just split those last games, It'll be wonderful if we could show up against those strong teams that we're going to be seeing, such as the Spurs, the Celtics, and the Hornets, the Clippers, the Suns, and the Lakers. Hello. I mean, yo, come on, man. You know, let's hope. Let's take it one game at a time. We got tonight, and we got tomorrow night. The Houston is coming off a game from last night. They should be the tired team. We could be the laid-back team, having not played in 4 days. So this could be one of those trap games. Hello, remember that phrase?
Yep.
Okay, like we underestimate them. You know, they're not that good. Their record is whatever. But you know, like I say, any given Sunday, and today happens to be Sunday. So you know, if we go in there thinking like we are on a 9-game winning streak, or we 10-1 in the last 11, we could have a spanking given to us with these boys. Because that fool that scored 50 the other day, I don't know where he showed up from, but that was like a fluke. Because I don't think he's averaging 15 points a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's popping 50. Given all of that, I know that this has got these guys ready mentally. This is a business trip. We need to come out of this West Road trip like we've never come out before. And so it can't be a 2 and 5. It's got to be at least a 3 and 4 or 4 and 3. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games before we come home.
Wow.
7 games away. So there's going to be a lot of traveling, and there's going to be some tough nuggets.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun. You know? And some Grizzlies going to be out there waiting for us. And the Clippers to clip our wings. You know? and then the Lakers, LeBron may not be at his very best, but he's going to be at his very best that night. Okay? And then the Spurs want to stick their Spurs into us and ride us into the sunset, where the Suns are going to spank us again. So we got to be really, really careful. Bring our defense every night. That's all I need. Bring the defense, because we are 2-3 games away from being in the play-in instead of the playoffs. Take it away.
Wow.
Well, go ahead, little bro. Take it away.
Well, I had a question actually. I kind of wanted to get I want to take like a sort of a poll, and I wanted to know, who do you guys? Maybe you guys mentioned this before. Who do you guys want to see? Who would be ideal for you guys to see in the playoffs, first round? What team would you want to see?
Atlanta or Charlotte for me.
One of those two.
Any of those two. I don't want to see no Miami in the first round. No Miami in the first round. We haven't figured them out yet. That's the one team I don't want. I'll take anybody else, but you know.
I agree. I want Charlotte.
I'll take the Hawks.
If I'd rather take Atlanta than like Bugsy, like Nate was saying, he wanted Boston because we beat them before, and I'm like, Jason Tatum just came off a historic game. I don't want to see that kid right now.
And he turns it up. He turns it up in the playoffs.
He's the real deal.
Yeah,
he's the real deal.
He's serious. Then you got Jaylen Brown. Then you got Kemba's back. Like I don't want to see Boston right now. Then they got Marcus Smart. Like I feel like on paper they're supposed to beat us. So I don't want to really see them, but I think we can hang with them. They're not gonna, they could put brooms away. I don't think any team's gonna do that to us. But I feel like I want to see Charlotte or Atlanta. I have a personal reason why I want to see Atlanta. We have relatives in the A,
ATL,
and that's just gonna make it more interesting.
And that's their favorite team too.
And that's their favorite team.
So there'll be a lot of talk. There'll be a lot of smack talking.
Oh my God!
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. 2, 3.
And Trae Young. You want to see them?
Yeah, we got them figured out, just like Miami has us figured out, man.
Listen, I do want to say one thing though. We still have Pacers and Wizards at 9 and 10, and the 7, 8, 9, and 10 are playing that little round robin, play in. So we don't know who's going to get hot, because it could be a 1-game elimination for any one of those teams. And that means that would be the Hornets. I mean, the Heat, the Hornets, the Pacers, the Wizards. So, we can't even make up a real informed decision about who you want to say. I don't want to see any of them guys. Them guys say, listen, the Hornets could be just as tough as the Boston, because they just got, who is it? The ball kid back. Okay. And Hayward is supposed to be coming back. They're going to come back to us at full strength. So far, we played them and they've been at a disadvantage. So, be careful what you pray for, man. And I say again, making it to the playoffs is an accomplishment for us, because I don't know, like people say this is our goal for the year, but I don't know that realistically they knew that they were going to turn out to be this good and be in the 4th spot with 12 games, 10 games to go. I don't think Tibbs had that written down in his little, or whatever, his board. So I think, like you said earlier, man, it feels good to be a Knicks fan these days. And I think they're giving us that much. And, we got to be grateful for that. Okay?
I agree.
When we play in the playoffs, it's only about the experience of being in the playoffs for these guys. It's not about winning it, taking to the second round and all of that. That will come if it comes. But if it doesn't take away from any accomplishment that they've done this year. Thank you very much for allowing me to share. And I'll give it away to Santana, because I'm out of here.
We got him to believe, Dream. We got him to believe.
Finally.
We got him to believe.
With like 10 games left, he finally given in. Jesus. I mean, he only had to go 8 W's in person, right? Like 7 or 8 W's in person. He finally coming around.
He can't argue with the numbers, bro. The numbers don't lie, brother. Mathematically, they're in, man. They at least have secured a play-in position. Now, if they continue to win, they'll be in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But we got him to believe.
Yo, he's so locked in when he goes to games. He don't start cheering to the second half. He said, "This guy, man, you got bougie on us." I'm losing my voice in the first 5 minutes. He's like, "I'm gonna wait to the second half." Oh, okay.
That's true. You're right about that. What about Bill Stradamus? Bill Stradamus is still there with us?
Yeah, he's still here. We just we getting buzzed into our.
Oh, okay. Okay, into Pop Stradamus's domain, the man cave.
I don't know if can you guys see?
Yeah. Nice. That's cool. But little bro, go ahead, fire away, little bro.
Well, I'm good now. Basically, for tonight, I agree with H2O wholeheartedly. This could be a trap game. We can't go in there without chest poked out like we did something, because we won 9 out of our last 10, because that is a recipe for disaster for us. We got to go in there with our defensive first, second, and third mindset. The offense will follow, and like little bro said, like Malik just said, they're not built to be able to beat us, basically, if we're on our game. So we got to continue to do the things that gave us that 10-game or 9-game streak, which is defense, control of transitional defense. We got to throw a new wrinkle in there with regard to watching those matchups, like marketing was posting up RJ. Yeah. And we got to watch those things, limit our turnovers, rebound the ball, make sure that Noel and Taj are holding down the paint, and we're good, because Randall and Barrett, they're gonna have their typical 1 and 2. You hear what I said? You hear what I said? Barrett's stepfather.
I think he already broke out.
Oh, he broke out already. H2O, yeah. So I think that we're in good standing, and we're gonna go in there. We're gonna get that dub tonight. I don't think what's his name? Kevin Porter Jr. He ain't dropping no 50 on us. I'm gonna be that bold and make that proclamation. He ain't dropping no 50 on us.
No.
You know, he may get 20 depending on how many minutes he gets and who's guarding him and this and that. However, we're gonna come out of there with the dub and move on to our next game, which is what, tomorrow? Do we have a game tomorrow?
So. Yeah, I think it's a back-to-back. Yeah.
Who we got tomorrow?
Let me check. Let me check it.
Memphis. Oh, okay.
Oh, Memphis. Okay.
So I'm just pulling up now, parking, and who am I passing the rock to? Up top to Dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Dream. I'm throwing lob towards the rim because I know you up there. What you gonna do with it?
Oh, I'll do the Statue of Liberty with 380 on them. Bang! Spinning on them, boy. Feeling good about it too. So when it comes to this game, Houston is saying we got a problem, and New York is saying we're clear for takeoff. So they just got beat by, I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch it yesterday. They just got beat by Golden State. Golden State let them run up 55 points in the first half. They went into halftime, and the coach is like, bro, you got to wake up and bring some energy on the defense, and they shut them down to 32 points in the second half. So they ran out of juice. These guys, like you said, they normally don't really score a whole bunch of points. That one random game they had against Milwaukee, I don't know what happened, but everybody on the whole team shot their load basically, and so that's how they was able to pull that out. But outside of that, this team is 2-8 in their last 10 games. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. Like they're not, like you said, they ain't able to beat us. And especially if we come do what we normally do, they shouldn't even crack us. Guys that we normally look out for, Kelly Olynyk, he's a guy that we always got to keep an eye on because he's just a notorious Nick killer, and he knows how to get open. And that was a starter. A guy off the bench, Kenyon Martin Jr., keep an eye out for him. He gets off a little bit, but basically in the last game, it was him and Kevin Porter Jr. They only had like 17 or 16 or something like that in the game. So, a bunch of guys got in double figures, but low-end double figures. So that's not really anything that scares us, But, and on average, oh, man, the last 7 games, they've been putting up 40-plus three-pointers. We got to keep an eye on these guys pulling the trigger from outside. Play tight defense from that line without fouling, but expect a barrage of threes tonight because they are lacking talent, and they're trying to make up for that any way they can, and that's their way, just bombs away. So, they lost John Wall for the year. Some of these young kids, they're just starting to play now, more minutes, and so, they're still trying to find their groove, but they are no means, good by any means, We've seen a team out of the West already that wasn't supposed to be good, but actually has a little talent in Minnesota, and they got us. So we need to call that game back up to recent memory so that we don't go into, like you said, and fall into this little trap and keep this team around longer than they need to be, and then they pull out a little stupid W against us. So that being said, I'll come back with a couple more, I'll dissect a little more. But for now, I want to bounce past it hard down to my man coming across the lane, Bill Sadamas.
As you can see, I got fouled for
Yeah.
the reception, so I went up with the left, got an and one, calmly went to the line and sank the free throw.
All right.
Basically, I'm not worried about. I'm just not worried about tonight's game for whatever reason, and I hope that the team, however, is not feeling the way I feel. I hope the team is taking it more serious than I am. My thing is, with what we have and the trajectory that we've been on, I just don't think that the Rockets pose a threat to us. However, as stated previously by H2O and others and myself, this could be a trap game. So if we come in there with the right mindset, I have no doubt in my mind that we're gonna walk out of there with the dub. Even though I don't think John Wall is there, right?
Nah, he's out.
No, yeah, breaking
out,
news.
right?
He's out for the season.
Out for the season.
Oh, for the season. Wow.
Yeah, he done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, I really don't give them a chance, even with that being said. And like I said previously, Porter Jr. is not dropping 50 on us. We're going to handle them. We're going to come out with that defensive approach. We're going to rebound the ball. We're going to have our 4+ block shots, and we're going to rebound the ball because now they have a decent team with regard to rebounding, and they like to get out and run as well, even though they don't have the personnel to match most of their opponents. However, every once in a while, they're getting these W's. They got a W. I forget somebody that they beat that
Milwaukee.
beat. So
yeah.
Right. So once we get that happening to us, I think we're going to be in a good position. With that being said, let me throw the lob towards the rim. See Sandana through the peripheral. Let me throw it towards the rim. What you going to do with it, big boy?
I'm going to dunk it like, Daryl Dawkins and break the backboard, a la Chocolate Thunder, man. So that's what I'm going to do. But listen, we still, yes, I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This game, we should win. We shouldn't be, having a letdown because we had so many days to relax, to prepare for this game, and to tighten up certain things that we need to tighten up on the defensive side of the ball. Now, that being said, we still got to watch Christian Wood. He's having a breakout season, and of course, they're a bad team. But nonetheless, he's still going to do his thing. And like you said, Bill Stradamus, they like to run and gun. And they're young. That's what they're going to do. Right. That's their strength right now, that they're young. So we gotta make sure our transition D is tight. That's the key. If our transition defense is tight and we force them into a half-court game, it's easy. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
But if we let them run, then now we're going to make it harder on ourselves because now we're going to have to either try to match up with them or we got to play good transition defense to take that away from them. So that's the key to this game, in my opinion. Now, what I do want to see the Knicks do, I want them to work on the little things in terms of the defensive end to tighten up their defense. And if they get a Burks in the game, to get him minutes, you know what I'm saying? If he does play, because you want him to get that rhythm back. That doesn't just come in right away, So this is one of those games where you could get those guys, into a rhythm, like the Burks of the world, and on top of that, tighten up on defensive strategies and schemes and and playing the ball the way or playing the game the way you're supposed to play the game. And that means opening up Barrett. You know what I mean? When somebody's trying to go back, though, open up. Don't have your back to the ball because that's how you get beat. And then in terms of, whether we have matchup issues where a big guy's trying to post a little guy going to have to front and the defense has to rotate to double. Those are things that a game like this is an opportunity to tighten up those things. You know what I mean? You can experiment, you could play, you could tighten so that when you get to a game where you really need to execute, you already got that in your toolbox. But if you don't work on it during a game, now you're setting yourself up for failure. So with that being said, go ahead, Dream. Chomp away,
Well, I
brother.
mean, those are great points. I just want to really speak to like one particular matchup. I mean, Randall's coming back to Texas, and even though it's not Dallas, it's his hometown, he did come back to Texas last time ferociously with a big game. He had 44, 10, and 7, right? And that was against Dallas, and we needed that. And he knew he was going to be facing tough competition. So today's going to be a little bit, hopefully, similar. I hope his approach is similar. Be aggressive. Get out there, because his counterpart, Olynyk, this year has given him problems when he was playing with Miami. Just brings him out, stretches him out to that three-point line where he doesn't really necessarily want to go. Maybe by now he's more willing to just step out with him as soon as he's out there to take away that open three because he's going to be trying to get off. When he loves to see us. As far as points wise, they score 108 points. We score 107. They give up the 113. So like I said, I love every time I look up a team and I see they give up more than 110. I just start salivating because that's like in my brain that's the green light for our offense. I don't know why. It's just a number I've kind of like settled on, and anytime I see that 110, I'm like, boom, that's got it. Now we're in the driver's seat for a win, So that being said, against these teams that give up the 110, I it's hard not to give the team the plus minus that they've been showing us. Right? They've been showing us that they beat teams more than 10 points. Over the what's allowed or what the limit is anyway. So that being said, I'll drop my score now, but then I'll come back. I have one more thing to touch up on. But
Okay.
So Houston with the 108, I'll take away the 10 points. That leaves them with 98. They're not breaking 100 today. I really don't think so. So and then 107 for the Knicks plus the 10, 117. So it's a little bit of a blowout and more of the idea that they're not going to break 100. I don't think against our team. And that being said, I'll toss it to Bill.
All right. I happen to agree with you. However, I think that we should not come out the way we do at home, just launching threes. I think we should go with the inside outside approach. If we do that, control the pace, then I agree. We're gonna win this by blowout margin. If we go in there, start just chucking up threes and then letting them, and if we're not hitting and we continue to do that and then start to run and fall into their game trap, then it's going to be a harder win for us. If we come out there inside, outside, go inside first with Barrett, Randall, and whoever else. Start from the inside. The only ones who should be taking open shots, say like if Bullock is wide open, because let's say Peyton or Barrett drives and they clog up the middle, and if he's wide open, you push it out there and then let him take that. But I don't want Julius or Barrett bringing the ball up and then just doing this one-on-one thing in the beginning and just launching up threes. If we do it that way, it's going to be a harder game for us. If we go inside out, control that pace throughout, then I will agree with you. And I don't think they're going to score 100 either. I'll give my score now and pass the rock, but I think we're going to get these boys big time. I'll say 117 to 95. I think that's the score I'm going to go with. 117 to 95. New York. With that being said, lob up top towards the rim again for my man Santana.
I'm gonna grab it up and I'm gonna go up and under and finish off with my left. So yeah, man, I agree with you guys in terms of your score, and I think you made a great point, Mr. James, regarding this isolation ball. Let's get away from that. Again, this is one of those games where you could really work on certain things, ball movement, people movement, player movement, and that way you get into a rhythm. You try to create good habits as opposed to settling for this isolation ball, because again, you're opening up yourself for the either you hit big or you miss. A big miss can become a fast break for them, and they're gonna want to run. So control the game, control the pace. With that being said, I'm gonna say the Knicks 115, the Rockets 99. That's my pick. But go ahead for closing words, Dream. Take it away.
Well, I just wanted to say, I wish I had jumped on earlier to throw this out earlier. So we're going into this basically this road trip, and I know a lot of us we looked at the schedule and we got a little nervous about how this is going to turn out, and man, this is a crappy way to end the season and stuff like that. But I just want to go back to a lot of these prior games, this last 7 games or 8 games. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games on the road that we lost by 3 points or less. So we're actually not that far off from being even a better team. If we could tighten up some of these things next year, obviously it's not going to happen this year, but we've gotten better in closer games. So we've made progress this year. But just imagine if any one of these games, or a couple of them, like we had said, could have jumped our win total easily up to 40 or close to it, like 38 or something like that, And some of these games, like the Minnesota, we lost by 1. We didn't really need to lose that one. We lost to Cleveland on the road, little ones here and there. Brooklyn, even Philadelphia, I think was a 3-point loss. So it's we're there, and I'm proud of my guys. And especially after going to the game the other day, and it was good to see them in person. And I think I needed that for myself, to go into this playoff run. But I just wanted to say that, as far as, sometimes we get caught up thinking that these road stands are going to be hell on us. And like I said, just take it game by game and we'll see how it shakes out in the end. We're already halfway where we want to be. We put ourselves in great position right now. and all we need to do is just close out the season, and that's it. And then settle in wherever we're going to settle, let the dust settle where it's going to be for the playoffs, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to touch on that.
So, Mr. Damas, you got any last words?
Just real quick, that we should treat this road trip. What is it? 7 games or whatever it is. If we treat each game like a playoff game, by the end of it, however we stand, we'll be better equipped going into the playoffs. So if we keep that in mind, keep our focus, like I always say, defense first, second, and offense will follow. Transitional D, box out, do the small things, box out, rebound, help defense, and limit our turnovers. We'll be good going into the playoffs. So this is pretty good that we have this stretch, because it forces us to tighten up sooner than later, instead of ending our season with a bunch of games at home and we may get a false sense of security. We're going to end our season. Now, I think our last
there's 3 games at home.
At home. However, this 7 game, this strip is going to have us better focused coming back home, and then from there going into the playoffs. So, other than that, go New York, go New York, go. And let me throw a double-handed lob up top. You don't want it back, Santana?
No, close it out, brother. Close it out.
All right.
It's equal opportunity closes here.
All right. So let me get my Berks on and close us out.
I knew it was coming.
I want to thank our supporters for joining Knicks Dreams. We like for you to hit the likes, subscribe to us, tell your friends about us. We're on every game, every night that the Knicks are playing. We come on prior to that game. We talk about the previous game, and then we pontificate on the current game. And as we've all said, at the end of our broadcast, once a Knick,
always a Knick. All right, fellas. We'll pick it up during the chat. Yes, indeed.
All right.
All right.
Later on, guys.
Later.